going?
Ready?
I'm
We're
just
ready?
going to do the, yeah. So, hi, this is Vicki Rebecca. I'd like to share with you the holistic model. It's something that I was taught when I was being trained to be a psychotherapist. And here it goes. So when I was doing my training, they told me that the mind is like a cup that fills up with stress. And it's just ordinary things that fill up with stress. It doesn't have to be anything particularly traumatic. Just like simply being born, getting your dummy taken away, being bullied at school, stood up in a date, stressed at work. It's the kind of stuff that happens to all of us until your cup becomes full. And when your cup becomes full, you get this. Let's say this represents the onset of a symptom. Now the symptom can be anything at all, but it's always got to be something that affects your life, because your symptoms sent to you by the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is that part of you that knows everything about you, everything that's ever happened to you, even those bits that you don't want to know, that you don't want to remember. But it actually knows all the great things about you, all your potential, all that you can be, and it's trying hard to push you in that direction. So every now and again it says, let's give him or her a nudge, yeah? And you get this symptom. But because the subconscious mind is subtle, it doesn't talk to you like your ego. You know, your ego talks to you in your head. That's the internal nag, if you like. That's the bit that says stuff like, I'm not good enough, my bum looks big in those trousers, or, you know, look at the state of her with that dress in. You know, so we get either our negative ego or our boastful ego. The subconscious mind is much, much more subtle. It talks to you in a more subtle language. For example, it can talk to you in dreams. I was going to say Einstein because we were talking about him last night. Sigmund Freud says dreams are the royal road to the unconscious mind. So dreams can be messages from your subconscious mind. Also language of the body. Stuff like sinusitis. Who's getting up your nose? Notice it's always a who, not a what. Boils, cysts, those kind of things are little pockets of anger. Weight, usually protection. Leaky bladder, overflowing emotions. Those type of things. You can read language of the body. You can also read language of the universe. And that's like, you know, when you get these days where you go, crikey, that's 3 times somebody said to me I should go on a trip to Australia. Maybe I should go to Australia. I would call that language of the universe. So you get these subtle messages. But because they are subtle, you say to yourself, oh, I'll do that when the kids have left school. I'll do that after my holidays. I'll do that when I get promotion. What we do is we just carry on anyway. So then the subconscious mind has to say, he or she is not listening. So it makes the symptom worse. And that's usually when people come to see me as a therapist. They go, oh, I'll try anything, I might as well try hypnosis or something like that. So, and don't worry that we're filming. Susan won't put the camera on you. You can ask questions and stuff. So just fire in any time you like. So you end up with this overflowing cup. So when clients come to see me, I explain this to them and I say, so most therapists can help in 2 ways. We can help up here on this level by just helping you to build up the boundaries, helping you to be able to cope. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this with my left hand. I don't do it very well with my right hand, but this is supposed to be a tap. So we can work down at this level. Let's say it's the hot water tap. And when we work through the tap, what we do is we go back to the time when. So let's say when you were 6, you got your very first pet. And it was a little goldfish, right? And you won it at the fun fair. And your carer, your mother or your father said to you, it's your fish, you look after it, you'll feed it, you'll clean the bowl out on a Saturday, and but you did. You loved your little fish, you did all the things, you watched it going round and round, and of course inevitably one day you went through and it was belly up, the fish was dead. So you burst out crying because you felt upset, sad, shocked, and your mum, let's say your mum was ironing the clothes in the other room, came running through thinking your big brother had kicked you on the leg or something, saw that it was only the fish, and looked round you and said, don't be bloody stupid, get it down the toilet pot. So you're already bereft over your little fish. Your mother clearly doesn't understand how much you loved your fish, and if she doesn't understand you, she just didn't love you at all. And then your big brother came in and started laughing, so you're pissed off with him as well. So you've got all those feelings, haven't you? And we've all got stuff like this that happened when we were little. But because your carer, the person who loved you, says to you, don't be daft, you probably don't say that where you come from, but anyway, where I come from, you think, well, my mother usually tells me what's right and what's wrong. She loves me, she cares for me, but I've got this anger smouldering inside me, I've got the tears pricking behind my eyes. There must be something wrong with me. So you learn to hide your feelings, to not trust your feelings, and in some cases just not even feel at all. We just don't get taught how to process feelings as we're growing up. Unless you were born in California to a couple of psychotherapists or something, it's just not on the cards. In fact, most of us have been probably told to, girls don't get angry and boys don't cry. That's about it, the stereotypical stuff. So what do you think happens to the feelings?
Overflow.
Eventually, yes. Because you hide them, and because in the universe like will always attract like, as you all know, we end up getting into the same old, over and over again. And there you have it. You get your symptom, till eventually that comes bursting through. I mean, I remember times, and marriage is a great thing for bringing up your subconscious issues. And even Carl Jung said, we marry so that our subconscious mind is displayed before us on a daily basis. I remember when I was married, I used to think, I'm just going to say this to him. And then I'd say to myself, don't say that, Vicki, that won't work, not with him. But I was compelled, because it seemed so reasonable to me, I'm just going to go and say that anyway. And I found myself repeating that over and over and over again. And that was my pattern. I know my pattern right now. Every one of you in this room knows your pattern. You probably know your best mate's pattern. I bet you, one of you at least, have got a girlfriend who always goes with the bad boys. Yeah. That's how it goes, and we know our own. We're sitting here fully cognizant of what our patterns are, but can we stop them? Not that easily. And especially the ones that were formed before 10 years of age. That's when our psyche patterns were formed, and it may have been something as simple as the goldfish dying. But when we're adults, we over-intellectualize these things, and we say to ourselves, oh, that was only the fish. How could I still think about that goldfish? It's stupid. But the feelings are still there. So when we work on this level, what it is kind of emotional surgery. And when we go back there, you, the adult, acknowledges and then lifts off the feelings of he or she, the child. And of course we open the tap, and then it goes out the tap, and of course the whole level then comes down, which leaves you space or energy to be getting on with your life, because actually suppressing feelings is very, very expensive in energetic terms. times. I think your body has to produce a drug 200 times stronger than morphine just to suppress emotions. So does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So thank you very much, cameraman. We can switch it off now unless anybody wants to have a copy, in which case you're welcome. So